XRP, insider leaks bad news about Ripple XRP. Is it possible to relist XRP on Coinbase? What will such an event lead to? We will answer these questions in today's video. The current price of XRP for today is $0.35 and the trading volume for 24 hours is $136,000,000 We are updating our XRP price in US dollars in real time. XRP has dropped 30% in the last 24 hours. Welcome to the Rich Club channel. If you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Do you think the analysts are right about XRP? Write the answers in the comments. Giving away 500 XRP at the end of the week. One random subscriber will receive XRP coins. Take a look at the instructions in the comments section. All you need to do is write the word XRP, watch the video to the end to like and subscribe. The Relative Strength Index, RSI, has not been definitive over the past few days. Last week, the RSI held a neutral value of 50 as support, but recently this level has not passed. Thus, there may be some volatile dynamics during the weekend. Similarly, the Awesome Oscillator, AO, was also below zero. He has not yet shown a strong bearish impulse. The A/D line had a resistance zone that was directly overhead and was indicated by two dotted white lines. If A/D can overcome this region, it will be a sign of sustained demand for the XRP rally. The Directional Movement Index, DMI, showed the absence of a strong trend. ADX, yellow, it was at level 20, ADI just above the 20 mark. Technically, this indicated a bearish trend, but in general meant the absence of a significant trend over the past few days. The $0.35-$0.36 range will be important to protect the bulls over the next day or two. The formation of a lower low below this area will signal bearish strength. Momentum indicators were inconclusive on the lower timeframes. Bitcoin could also strongly influence the direction of XRP in the near future. Ripple has requested permission from Judge Sarah Netburn to serve two subpoenas for third parties who are not parties to the process to verify the authenticity of 7 copies of videotaped public statements by SEC officials regarding previous disclosure requests, RFA, see below. According to Ripple, the Securities and Exchange Commission refused to grant the request. #ZerCommunity, #SecOf versus. #Ripple, #XRP. Ripple defendants are requesting permission to serve third-party subpoenas to authenticate videos of public appearances by 7 SEC officials in connection with the previous RFA. The SEC does not give consent, and the SEC tries to reopen the opening. Recall that on July 19, 2022, the court ruled that the parties should meet and discuss the RFA, asking the SEC to confirm the authenticity of 7 videos of public speeches of its officials. Ripple quoted an excerpt from the court ruling. Such an agreement may entail the creation of uploaded versions of comments for authentication and preservation. Following the court's directive, the parties met and conferred on July 27, 2022. Despite the initial agreement that she would confirm the authenticity of the statements as soon as she gets access to the videos, the SEC prohibits Ripple from downloading video content from the platforms on which they are located. The SEC has not yet agreed to Ripple's request. According to Ripple, the videos are hosted on 2 video sharing platforms. 7 videos are subject to the platform's terms of service, which include preventing unauthorized persons from downloading content without prior consent. Based on this, the defendants, including Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, requested consent from video sharing platforms. In response to the request, the platforms demanded that Ripple send a subpoena before it was granted permission to download the video. As part of the effort to ensure the authenticity of the 7 videos, the defendants requested permission to send subpoenas for both video platforms. According to Ripple, the purpose of what is happening is to get the video without violating the terms of service of video sharing platforms. As soon as the subpoena request is approved, the blockchain company intends to provide the video to the Securities and Exchange Commission for authentication. However, the SEC has not yet agreed to Ripple's request. In particular, the Securities and Exchange Commission informed the defendants that it would consent only if the defendants agreed to reopen the investigation so that the Securities and Exchange Commission could now serve its own set of subpoenas to obtain copies of unspecified videos in support of its claims, and only if the defendants agree to waive any objections regarding authenticity and procedural objections to unknown SEC videos, Ripple added. Ripple objects to any attempt to reopen discovery. The blockchain company describes the SEC's terms as completely illegitimate because the Commission did not provide any RFA for authentication at the time of discovery, adding that it strongly objects to any attempt by the Commission to resume discovery. For clarity, Ripple noted that the 2 subpoenas it is trying to file on the video sharing platform are not a step towards reopening discovery and do not pose a problem for the court schedule. The subpoenas relate to the RFA defendants who were served before the end of the investigation of the facts on August 31, 2021, and are necessary to comply with the order, Ripple concluded. Meanwhile, the SEC's refusal to consent to Ripple's subpoena provoked a reaction from attorney Jeremy Hogan, a partner at the law firm Hogan Hogan, who said, "Ripple just wants to authenticate 7 videos of SEC employees making speeches, and the SEC is messing with it again." The SEC played games by responding initially last year. Authentication is a standard procedure in lawsuits and shouldn't be that complicated. A request for disclosure of information, requests for admissions, RFA, is a list of questions that are similar in some respects to interrogations, but different in form and purpose. Each question has the form of a declarative statement in which the responding party must then either admit or refute, or explain in detail why he or she cannot either admit or refute the veracity of the statement, for example, due to lack of information, etc. Earlier, the SEC said it could not confirm or deny the authenticity of the video recording with William Hinman, who served as the Director of Corporate Finance of the department. It seems that the patience of the crypto community has come to an end in light of a new initiative to remove Gary Gensler from the post of chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. A group of enthusiasts has created a petition accusing the former head of the CFTC and the current head of the SEC of obstruction of justice for non-compliance with laws relating to open short sales and for failing to provide competent supervision of market makers, citing an investigation into Citadel Securities. The SEC is pursuing companies like Ripple that are completely transparent in their activities, instead of really protecting investors. At the moment, the petition is on the website change.org, signed by more than 20,000 people. Although the mechanism does not require a certain number of signatures, it is believed that when 100,000 signatures are reached, the petition must be considered by the authorities. It is possible that Citadel Securities pushed the authors to create a petition. Recall that the company was accused of unfair trading and market making in relation to GameStop shares, using the Robinhood broker and buying customer order data from him. However, it seems that most of the signatories are participating in the initiative because of their dissatisfaction with the rhetoric of the head of the SEC regarding cryptocurrencies, a market that Gensler calls the Wild West. It was under Gensler that the regulator took a tougher stance on digital assets. The SEC's more aggressive approach, calling certain token securities, is alarming to the crypto community, as it may cause problems for the industry. Such a label causes strict requirements for investor protection. Crypto enthusiasts say that many of these restrictions are incompatible with digital assets. Ripple General Counsel Stuart Alderoty considers it absurd for the SEC to comply with its standard market rules. He says, "I would rethink the logic of the statement that crypto markets should be subject to the jurisdiction of the SEC, because it's like saying that electric car drivers don't need seatbelts. In fact, it's more like punishing electric car drivers for not using gas stations owned and controlled by the SEC." SEC Chairman Gary Gensler said the agency has rules on capital markets to protect the integrity of the market as well as to ensure investor protection. Gensler added, "If a company creates a cryptocurrency market that protects investors and meets the standards of our market regulation, people are likely to trust this market more." However, in its current form, Gensler did not present a roadmap of how exactly greater trust will be built. To this end, Alderoty stressed the urgent need for reasonable regulation of cryptocurrencies by the United States, while at the same time calling the SEC's approach intimidation in a recent article. Alderoty referred to Sherman's unusual remarks during the oversight hearing on the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) Enforcement Division held last week by the House Subcommittee on Financial Services, at which Sherman raised the Ripple lawsuit. In December 2020, the SEC sued Ripple for allegedly raising funds by selling XRP, which at the time was the third largest cryptocurrency, without registering it as a security. "I would rethink the logic of saying that crypto markets have to succumb to SEC jurisdiction, because that's like saying drivers of electric cars don't need seatbelts. It's actually more like punishing electric car drivers because they don't use SEC-owned and controlled gas stations." What do you think are the prospects for XRP in 2023? Write your forecasts in the comments. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the release of new videos, and do not forget about our contest. Write in the XRP comments to add 500 XRP to your account.